Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mustaqim Muslim bin Ibatullah. Today I want to share to all of you about the introduction Imam As Syafie. Inshallah, I will start now. Imam As Syafie, as we know, established the specialist branch of Islamic studies in jurisprudence that we call is Usul al-Fiqh, the methodology of Islamic law. His work found one of the four main school of Islamic law. Imam As Syafie name is Abu Abdullah Muhammad bin Idris. He was born in Gaza. He was born in 150 Al-Hijrah, the years of Abu Hanifah death. Imam As Syafie memorized the Al-Quran at very young age, and he studied with Imam Malik around the 9 years. As Syafie developed the science of combining the Quran and Hadith with human reasoning to provide a basic law. As we know, Imam As Syafie dominant mazhab in Indonesia, Malaysia, Egypt, Somalia, Yemen, Sri Lanka, southern part of India. After that, Imam As Syafie authored many books. Among them is Kitab Al-Ulum. It is about the fundamental and principal book. Al-Risalah fil Usul al-Fiqh is the best now book and examines the principle of jurisprudence. Kitab Al-Hujjah, Musnad Al-Syafi'i, Ikhtilaf Al-Hadis, and others many books. We must call is Imam As Syafie has defended the Sunnah most determinedly. Again, all group the sound reduced its status. There were many of those at the time seeking to limit success in Islamic law to the Quran only. Imam As Syafie was able to show the weakness and their stand and reduce their influence to a minimum. Hence, he earned the title the Advocate of the Sunnah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hisham bin Khairul Hilmi. My metric number is 1182486. Okay, we continue with the biography of Imam As Syafie. Full name of Imam As Syafie is Muhammad bin Idris bin Abbas bin Uthman bin Syafi'i bin As-Sa'id bin Ubaid bin Yazid bin Hashim bin Abdul Muttalib bin Abdul Manaf bin Qusay bin Kilab bin Murad bin Ka'ab bin Lu'ay bin Ghilab bin Fihrir bin Malik bin An-Nadir bin Kinanah bin Kuzaimat bin Mudrikat bin Ilyas bin Mudar bin Nizar bin Ma'ad bin Adnan bin Ud bin Udad. The lineage of Imam Syafie made with the lineage of Prophet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on Abdul Manaf bin Qusay. Imam Syafie is a prominent imam who was descendant from the Hashimi Quraysh tribe. He is the only imam from our four Sunni madhab is related to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imam As Syafie was born on 150 after Hijrah in Gaza, which is located in Asqalan district, South Palestine. His mother name is Fatimah binti Abdullah bin Hassan bin Ali bin Abi Talib. His mother still from the lineage of Prophet Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We go to the upbringing of Imam As Syafie. The way Imam As Syafie's mother raised her child is able to form the personality and knowledge of her child. There are three important in the history of Imam As Syafie life journey. Imam As Syafie's father died shortly after he was born, which caused him to live as an orphan since childhood. Imam Syafie was not raised in educated family. Imam As Syafie has been living in poverty since he was a child. After that, we go to the education of Imam As Syafie. His mother sent Imam As Syafie to study from the Quran great scholar in Qiraat at Makkah. His name is Imam Abu Ismail bin Constantine. The first education he was received. As a result, Imam As Syafie was able to memorize fully Al-Quran on age of 7. After graduating Qiraat and Al-Quran, Imam Syafie was sent by his mother to Bildan village of the Huzai tribe in the mountain. The purpose of his mother sent to the village to learn Arabic language from the Bani Huzai because there Arabic language is still original and pure, and also to learn literature, which is very high and beautiful, including Arabic poem. During his stay with the Buddha in Bani Huzayl, Imam Shafi'i was memorized from them as many as 10,000 verses of poetry without the slightest mistake in the tone, pronunciation, and the detail of the sentence. At the age 13, he memorized Kitab Al-Muwatta of Imam Malik, and when the age 20, he went to Medina and became a student of Imam Malik bin Anas. At age 15, Imam As Syafie was given authorization to issue fatwa, and while in Medina, Imam As Syafie became a disciple of Imam Malik bin Anas. He studied and memorized the book of Al-Muwatta in just 9 nights. Imam Shafi'i went to Yemen, then to Baghdad in 182 after Hijrah, and to Baghdad for the second time in 195 after Hijrah. Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal met with Imam As Syafie while in Baghdad, who previously met in 187 while in Mecca. Imam Shafi'i was studied in Mecca, Medina, Baghdad, Yemen, and Egypt. Imam Shafi'i died in Cairo, Egypt, at the age of 54 after a short illness. The picture of tomb of Imam As Syafie, on the dome of the tomb there is a yard, sign of Imam As Syafie traveling to get the knowledge. That's all from me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My name is Ahmad Izzuddin bin Muhammad Abdi alias Normi. My metric number is 1182599. Alright, today I would like to talk about Imam As Syafi'i's contribution in Islamic education and his expertise. Firstly, expertise in writing poetry. In fact, Imam As Syafi'i's amazing ability is not limited to the field of fiqh alone. He is also an expert in creating beautiful poems in his style. The verses of his poems contain various words of wisdom in the form of advice to the people. According to the quotation of Mus'ab bin Abdullah al-Zubayri, he said that Imam As Syafie had started his life pattern by studying poetry and literature, but later he emphasized on the science of al-fiqh. The poems of Imam As Syafie have been compiled in a book entitled Diwan As Syafie. Example of the Imam As Syafie's poem, when I forgive someone and do not take revenge, myself rested from the restlessness of hostility. Indeed, I greet my enemies when they meet. By rebuking him, evil was cast out of the soul. The second point is he left the flow of the Shafi'i set in Islamic jurisprudence. Imam As Syafie was a founder of one of the four main Sunni schools of jurisprudence. He prioritized the Holy Quran and the Hadith of Prophet in what he wanted to decide in everything. He had his own sources in decided any law in his set. They are source of revelation, means Al-Quran and Sunnah, then Ijma, consensus from the scholars, then the Prophet's companion says or opinion, then Al-Qiyas, and lastly Uruf and previous Sharia law. So, Imam As Syafie took the first rank source, mean Al-Quran and Sunnah, to find the laws. If no answer is found in the Quran, it is only taken from the Sunnah. These two sources are obligation. Imam As Syafie used Ijma as his second rank source. He used this source whenever he did not find any evidence in the Quran and Hadith. The Ijma used by Imam As Syafie as the proof of the law is the Ijma that is based on text or whatever the basis of the narration from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The third rank source for Imam As Syafie is the Prophet's companions' law. Imam Shafi'i used this source as a source of law enforcement. The fourth rank source that has been used by Imam Shafi'i is the method of Al-Qiyas. Al-Qiyas means the process of deductive analogy in which the teaching of the Hadith are compared and contrasted with those of the Quran in order to apply a non-nas injunction to a new circumstance and create a new injunction. Lastly, the fifth resource is uruf and the previous Sharia law. Next, point number 3 is Imam As Syafie is the first Islamic scholar to compile the science of usul fiqh. In fact, Imam As Syafie was the first great ulama who compiled the knowledge of usul fiqh as a separate science. This is the opinion of the majority of ulama, and this matter is agreed by ijma, scholar arguments. Ibn Khaldun has stated the first people to compile ilmu usul fiqh was Al-Imam As Syafie rahimahullahu ta'ala. It is contained in his famous book, Ar-Risalah. He discussed the question of injunctions, prohibitions, al-bayan, al-khabar, the concept of nasakh, and the law of illah, which is based on al-qiyas. Example for method of usul fiqh, the word order leads to obligatory law, unless there is evidence that diverts from obligatory to circumcision. Next, point number 4 is Imam As Syafie's contribution in the field of Tasawwuf Sufism. Imam As Syafie, who diligently studied and practiced Sufism, has left an outward and inward or spiritual, mental and physical impression on himself. He encouraged Muslims to learn Sufism to become true faqih and Sufis. His preaching on this fact has been immortalized in his famous book, which is Diwan al-Imam As Syafie. The poem reads, "By the truth of God, I advise you, be a faqih and a Sufi. Do not ever be one of them only, faqih only or Sufi only. If only faqih, the heart will be heart that cannot feel piety. If he becomes a Sufi alone, he will become a very ignorant person. How can an ignorant person be able to do Islah, self-improvement?" Lastly, the point number 5 is wrote a lot of books for the goods of all Muslims. One of his great books is Ar-Risalah, contain a description of the sources of Islamic law. In addition, there is also a book named Al-Khilaf Ali wa Ibn Mas'ud, which is a book that contains differences opinion between Imam Abu Hanifa and the scholars of the city of Baghdad, with Ali bin Abi Talib and Abdullah bin Mas'ud. That's all from me. Hope you all can understand what I had explained just now. Thank you.
My name is Muhammad Aiman bin Kamaruddin. My metric number is 1182590. I continue to my part, the conclusion. There are a few things that we can get from the life of Imam Syafie. Number one, the moral and manner of Imam Syafie with his teachers. As we know that Imam Syafie is a person who is famous in maintaining manner with his teachers. One day, where he was teaching his student, a filthy and rotten Badui come. Then he stopped the lecture to approach the Badui and hug him tightly. This situation made his student feel weird. After finish the lecture, his student asked him why he hugged the Badui when he was a bit messy and rotten. Imam Syafie told that the Badui was a person who had teach him. Number 2, seriousness in seeking the knowledge. As we know, Imam Syafie life as a child was very poor. After the death of his father, he lived with his mother in poverty. But that is not an obstacle for him to success. Since childhood, Imam Syafie has shown his seriousness and high interest in seeking the knowledge. He memorized the word of Quran. He was 7 years old and memorized the book Muwatta by Imam Malik in 9 days. Number 3, the humble person. Apart of that, Imam Syafie is known for his humble attitude. Although Imam Syafie is a famous scholar of jurisprudence, but his way of life is close to the way of Sufi's life. This is because Imam Syafie prefer a way of life with his simple clothes. Imam Al-Rabi bin Sulaim said, Imam Syafie once said, "I have never eaten until I was full size. I was 6 years old, because satiety will increase weight, harden the heart, blunt the mind, drowsiness and laziness in worship." For the last, a generous person. Lastly, Imam Syafie is very generous person. Every time someone asks him for something, he keep giving it. Imam Muhammad bin Abdullah al-Misri said Imam Shafi'i is very generous person. Besides that, Imam Amr bin Sawal al-Sirji said Imam Shafi'i is a person who like to donate from whatever he has. So I think this is some part of the story of Imam Shafi'i in life. Hopefully we can take a lesson from this story to be a guide in our life. So I think that's all. Thank you.